Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So today we are checking out the official Metastore release for Pavlov Shack. Now this video has been sponsored by the developers, but I've already been saying for years that Pavlov is the #1 VR shooter, and I'm really excited to see just how good it got for the Quest 3. So let's go ahead and find out just how good this really is on Meta's brand new headset and why I consider this the #1 VR shooter. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead. But let's just start things off with the basic information. Pavlov Shack is releasing for the Quest 2 and up on November 14th for $19.99. Now there is a 25% discount plus 5 cosmetic skins if you go ahead and pre-order the title. Pavlov features some excellent 10-player PvP modes, 4-person co-op modes, and even some 24-player community servers. There's a variety of classic gameplay modes including Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch, Gun Game, and One in the Chamber. There's also a variety of more unique gameplay modes including TTT, which is basically the most violent version of Among Us. There's Neutralization, a 1v9 asymmetrical monster hunting mode, and finally there's over 300 community mods for you to check out. So if you haven't figured it out just yet, this is basically Counter-Strike in VR. It has that same wide array of content to explore, plus some really intense shooter action. Now, almost everything about this game is fantastic, but there are a few bad things that I just want to get out of the way first. Unfortunately, Pavlov Shack will not feature crossplay with PCVR or PSVR 2 players. The reasoning for this is the developers didn't want to pull an onward and impact the overall PC or PlayStation VR gaming experience. Now for my testing with the Quest 3, it's hard to immediately tell what graphical bells and whistles are missing, and the title not only runs great, but also runs butter smooth. So if something is holding back this title, I'll assume it's the Quest 2, but maybe it's a lot more nuanced than I'm actually aware of. Now the lack of crossplay on Pavlov Shack shouldn't be a deal breaker because the Quest community is big enough. They don't need PlayStation VR 2 and PCVR to survive. It'll be fun. Now the other issue I experienced was with the microphone quality. When there's only 1 or 2 people talking, it was fine, everything sounded good. But once a bunch of people start talking, for whatever reason, the microphone quality goes to hell. It seems like a bandwidth issue or whatever's going on. Now I did speak to the developers, they are aware of it. Hopefully they can fix this up as soon as possible. But in games like TTT, or some other experiences where there's a large group of people working together, it just turns into garbly noise and kind of ruins the experience. So that is an annoyance. They need to get that addressed. Otherwise, everything in Pavlov Shack was pretty damn excellent. So let's get into the good stuff. So what makes this title so great is the fact that it starts with an amazing foundation. The shooter mechanics are top notch and there's a huge array of weapons and attachments to use. Pavlov strikes that perfect balance between realism and arcadey that somehow manages to gain the approval of both military sim fans and the more casual shooters among us. You'll eventually gain some muscle memory on all of your favorite weapons, making it feel that much more realistic. Now, just like how the gunplay mechanics are so accommodating to everyone, so is the wide array of different gameplay modes available. If you want to be that one-man army, well, go ahead and play something like Deathmatch or Team Deathmatch, where you don't really need that much strategy. But if you prefer that highly strategic combat, well then nothing really beats Search and Destroy. You really need to coordinate your team if you want to survive there. And if you're not up for competition, that's fine too. There's plenty of different co-op modes, something like Zombies, or you could try something completely different like TTT, which I jumped into with a bunch of YouTubers, and to be honest with you, it was a complete cluster. We were just running around like madmen. No one really wanted to play the gameplay mode. We just wanted to fool around, and I gotta be honest with you, one round I was able to trick everyone into killing each other, and I've never laughed so hard in a first-person shooter in my life.
Now we need to figure out who the.
Oh!
Wait! Whoa! Whoa!
How do I
Okay,
cock
well
this
now
gun?
we're never gonna figure it out.
Jesus.
Traitor's web.
Now again, that mic issue did mar this experience a bit, but was still absolutely hilarious. And if you're looking for other gameplay modes that are truly unique, you definitely got to look into the community mods, where I've played lots of incredible stuff, from your typical zombies all the way to volleyball with hand grenades. Yeah, that was an interesting one. Now let's get into my experience with the released version of Pavlov Shack on the Quest 3. Now I've loved Pavlov ever since it released. But admittedly, I don't really play it much anymore for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm always trying to cover the latest games, so that takes a lot of my time. I'm extremely busy with just life and the channel, and I've kind of aged out of competitive shooters. So I tend to get frustrated if I'm not kicking butt, and I just find it hard to play enough to be competitive anymore, unfortunately. So getting into this game, I was sucking immediately, like really bad. I haven't played in a while, and I tried to use my Pro Tube gun stock, but I forgot to calibrate it beforehand, so I just quickly abandoned that and was just playing. I can show you guys. I definitely got my butt kicked.
Ah! Oh, what the hell?
Oh no!
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was so ugly. Stick on the damn wall. Why won't it stick to the wall, dude?
Now, it definitely took me a bit longer than normal to warm up, but once I got into it, got my bearings, and started kicking some butt, I was loving it just like I used to. I just loved the strategic element of search and destroy. We had a lot of fun matches. Basically, you know, it just comes down to being so fast-paced, so strategic. Aim is so important. I just love that gameplay mode. It's a classic for a reason. So here's a little montage of me kicking butt with a nice little kicker at the end.
No, you don't.
Get wrecked.
I might have killed Tech. I might have killed Tech. I might have killed Tech. What? How'd you get that kill, Mateo? That was wild. You just rushed him with a
stabbed
freaking
him.
knife.
Okay, so let's finish this video off with my final verdict. Now, in the extremely competitive landscape that is PvP VR shooters, Pavlov somehow manages to take first place on the quest. Even if you prefer the Rainbow Six Siege style combat found in Breachers or an evacuation shooter like Ghost of War, I still believe Pavlov appeals to the largest audience. There is something for everyone here, and I highly recommend this game. The Quest 3 version was truly impressive, and I honestly didn't feel like I was missing much compared to the PC version. Now, when you do put them side to side, yes, you will obviously notice differences, but I was able to still enjoy this 100%, and I am a PCVR snob with an RTX 4090, the Index, whatever, Pimax Crystal. I got them, and I'd still say this is an absolutely fantastic experience. But go ahead and check out Pavlov Shack. And that was today's video. If you guys have any additional questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. I will do my best to answer you. If you're new here, consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time.